Welcome. Let's talk about how do we talk with adolescents when it seems impossible as a parent. As hard as it is to believe and as utterly unachievable as it feels at times, your teenager does want to talk to you and to be actively listened to. No matter how moody, irritable, argumentative, distracted and exhausted they appear, conversations with you do matter. And it's really wise to make yourself the person who will listen to them no matter what. The connection you develop will inevitably be a genuine source of joy in your lives and theirs. And on a more serious note, having you there to listen means they won't have to turn to somebody less appropriate, such as their peers. I think it's important to acknowledge just how complicated this all-important listener role can be. Open and honest conversations with adolescents can lead to the uncomfortable feeling that they are out of your control and directed solely by themselves. And if they, and only they, have access to the conversation on and off switch, the ability they have to abruptly halt a conversation is generally not about exerting a power trip. Rather, it's more often a reflection of their very small window of tolerance or their undeveloped ability to manage stress and to think and feel at the same time. Adolescents can feel pressure from a parental request, and they can perceive questions as criticism and often interpret benign comments as judgment. Cutting parents off mid-sentence is an instinctive effort to decrease their internal stress, as opposed to a deliberate attempt to be abrupt or rude or disrespectful. And when they do this, practice compassion for their vulnerability and for how much your words actually mean to them. Do go gently, and remember, always assume the best in them. Effective communication means moving beyond frustration, moving beyond anger or intimidation, and accepting that adolescents will not always engage in conversations when you are open or up for it. This is often the case when greeting our adolescent at the end of the day, when your cheery greetings of, "How was your day, darling?" is met with just these answers that are one syllable or a surly grunt or an eye roll. Resisting the urge to act out and become offended, comment negatively, such as, "Why don't you ever speak to me?" or get snappy, "Oh, hello to you too," will de-escalate the withdrawal. So a better course of action is to emotionally attune to your adolescent and comment, "It's lovely to see you, darling. Let's get you home so you can relax for a while," or "Let's go home after your long day. I bet you need some time to unwind." Then match their silence, or ask them if they would like to choose some music to put on in the car. Driving your teenager from place to place, or simply sitting with them, listening to whatever they have to say, allowing for long silences whilst respecting their complicated life journey, allows for the development of a wide and flexible window of tolerance. And it is absolutely one of the best gifts we can offer. This willingness to simply be with your adolescent shows them your unwavering love and respect for them, and it means profoundly more than the activity itself. It might be a lift, a walk with the dog, or sitting with them while they do their homework. That stuff really matters, because adolescents who feel like their parents get them make it through life's challenges more easily and are more able to think and feel at the same time. And that is referred to as a large window of tolerance, that ability to think and feel at the same time. When your teen is going through a tough period of rapid emotional shifts, this could describe their entire adolescence, I know. Practicing strong self-control by not reacting or flaring up can feel incredibly difficult. And it's especially hard when our teen doesn't want to hear us, even when we're correct or our words are in their best interests. For some young people, taking advice from a parent can feel like an unacceptable compromise to their independence. And the mindfulness technique that I've talked about before on this YouTube channel of stop, breathe and respond is helpful at these times and will give you the chance to pause, to hit the reset button within yourself and to act out of love rather than anger. So just to remind you, the stop, breathe, respond method is number one, we stop. We pause and we take some slow breaths. We focus on our out breath and then we focus our awareness on the quality of each breath. Warm, cold, deep, shallow. Smile gently and pause and ask yourself what you and your adolescent need in this moment. So just before I wrap up for today, let's think about some attunement ideas. So with our adolescent, we can pick a time of the day, such as when they return home from school, and just work on being present to them. Nod and use your body language when your young person downloads their day, and pause what you're doing, even if it's hard to do so when your adolescent wants to talk. My young person, my 17-year-old, regularly says my name, Anna, like, I need to talk now. And I try really hard to pause what I'm doing and be really, really present to her. Her big sister, who's much older, she always wants to talk when it's really late and it's a time that I don't feel up for a chat. But if we can, pause what you're doing, even if it's for a short moment, to hear what they have to say. Allow your adolescent to be cranky and short without getting short or critical or hurt in response. And don't lecture or nag, simply listen. I wish you all the best at staying connected and emotionally attuned to your young person.